Raise your standards. That's right. Raise your standards. We've all heard the expression that expectations can lead us to regret, or expectations can lead us to being let down. But today I'm going to ask you to expect more from yourself. Hi, good morning. This is Jim Adkins from Adkins Results Coaching and Jim Adkins Temple Karate Association. And I just want to remind you, while you're going through your 10 new habits or 10 things that you're going to change about yourself this year or next year, to add, this is my week one. This is what I'm doing for my top 10. And I revisit some things and add new things as much as I can. But one of my favorites is to remind myself to raise your standards, raise my standards. Expect more from yourself than anyone else could ever expect. And again, we've heard the expression that expectations can lead us to feelings of inadequacy, or, if you expect more from others and you don't get it, it leads to disappointment. Well, that's not what we're talking about. I'm asking you. Well, actually, I'm asking myself. Good morning, Mr. Boyce. I'm telling myself, and Mr. Boyce, this is a great one for you. I've watched you do this when you started my class, and I'm hoping you're continuing in your new journey. To raise your standards. Now, what does that mean? Well, I'm not going to detail it out for everybody because it could be different for everybody, but let's listen to this. Is for me, okay? In raising my standards, I expect more from myself. So if I'm dieting, or if I'm eating correctly, because I know people hate the words dieting, right? But if I'm eating right, and I know that I'm not eating right, so I know exactly what I'm supposed to be eating, I know what's good for me, and I still make the cookie dough and go after it, okay? I'm the only one responsible for that, and I know what goes in becomes who you are. So to raise my own standards, why would I do that to myself? If I love myself and I'm expecting myself to grow in the right ways, and I want to be healthy, why in the world would I do something like that to me? So you don't do it. Sometimes raising your standards can be hard. There are a couple things that are tough for me to do, but I have to remind myself that they're beneficial, and that's let some people go and let some things that you're doing in life or that you're holding on to go. And that's tough for me because I feel at times that everybody deserves a chance, and and with things that I hold on to, maybe someday I'll use that again. I'm not a wasteful person, but realistically, raising my standards sometimes means that the people that are just negative, the people that are holding you back, or that by no intention of their own, or no conscious effort to destroy you, that's not their intent, but they're still chipping away at your progress or chipping away at your growth. You got to let them go. Now, what does that mean to let them go? You don't have to push them off and ignore them, but really don't. How you doing, Mr. Motley? Really don't spend any more effort or time trying to change who they are, trying to help them in ways that they don't want to be helped. That's my issue, okay? So that's one of the things I'm doing this week. So I wrote down, and this is what I'll read to you for my week. This is how I'm starting my week. I hope you've got your 10 started. Here's my number one. Raise your standards and create an identity that's consistent with who you are. Now listen to that. Raise your standards and then create an identity that's consistent with who you are. A lot of times people get mixed up in the world trying to put on a mask or a face for certain types of groups or people that they're in, that they meet. You'll act one way for this person and a different way for that person. And sure, those can all be parts of your personality trait, but listen, be true to yourself. Be who you are. One of my role models at a distance, because I haven't met the man yet, Dwayne Johnson, and call him The Rock. There's certain things about his personality that I love. And one of his pieces of advice was be yourself. He went through a time in his life where he said, am I The Rock or am I Dwayne Johnson? Who am I supposed to be when I meet this person, or I'm going to go to this interview? And then he decided, you know what? I'm all of those people. I am who I am. And the more true to myself that I am, the better I'm going to be. And that helps his personality. Being true to himself And as I relate, I wear many hats. I know you see me in this one mostly, but as a singer, as a father, as a son, as a husband, as a friend, as an enemy, as a martial arts instructor, as a martial arts practitioner, I do a lot of things, and each one of those things that I do surrounds itself with different types of people and their expectations of me at times. Get that? Their expectations of me at times has led me to possibly act in accordance with who I'm really not, or who I used to be. I may have been at one time, and things have changed. And when you get back in that environment, it pulls you back. So raising my standards and creating a personality, not a personality, an identity. I made sure to put identity that's consistent with who I am is my week one. All right. I know that's a lot to swallow today, but I love jumping off in the deep end when it's time to start something. Mr. Boyce, Mr. Motley, it's good to see you on here. Listen, I'm doing the whole series of martial arts training online again because of the state of what's going on. If you guys want to see anything special, let me know, man. I'm going to go make some videos right now. And for Christmas, I've also got the new video series started coming out, and you'll see the advertisements for that. But we revamped all the videos. We've got some really good professional ones done this time, and I'm hoping you'll like them. So if you like this channel, if you like what we're doing, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, share it. But more important than all of that, make your list of your top 10, even if you can only come up with 5, personality traits, habits, things that you're going to do for yourself moving into the next year, and start them now. My week one, as a reminder, raise your standards, raise my standards. All right, you guys, expect more from yourself than others expect from you, and you'll do great. Until next time, on your mark, get set, grow. I love you, and let me know what you're doing. See you later, Mr. Boyce.